So we have a bit to talk about. Latest forecast models showing something big might happen for the eastern coast. Multiple rounds of cold Arctic blasts are set to push through the country, as well as the possibility of a snow and ice storm to impact the central and eastern part of the US. All the latest information regarding the upcoming weather coming up. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a great day so far, and I hope you guys are staying safe. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the models, because like I said, we are expecting a few things to kick off here. Things honestly could get pretty crazy. So first off, we're taking a look here at the snowstorm to set the impact bits of the Midwest here, potentially delivering some heavy snow across the region. This will track its way basically to the southeast here, actually maybe even delivering some snow across the Ohio Valley. Like I said, the timing is in the bottom right-hand corner here, so this is from the 10th into the 11th. Then as this area of low pressure kind of tracks its way off here across the eastern portion of Canada, this actually will draw up a little bit of moisture here, because that cold front will continue to drive its way down the region, maybe even causing for some cold air across the central part of the country. Now this actually will draw up this moisture here to the northeast, as we usually see that northeaster flow basically ahead of the cold front. So this will actually drive some moisture across the region. We actually start to get a little bit of snow falling across the mid-Atlantic into the southeast here, with that new area of low pressure developing across the southeastern coast, kind of meeting up with all of that moisture we do see here across the mid-Atlantic. This will track its way here to the east, maybe delivering some snowfall across the mid-Atlantic into the northeast here down the line. This is for the 13th into the 14th. But that's not all, guys. As we actually do track down even further, there has been some support, as you may have seen in yesterday's video here. There is the support still actually occurring here. The possibility we could see the snow and ice storm impact the central part of the country as this area of low pressure tracks its way to the northeast, maybe even delivering a lot of rainfall across the southeast into the mid-Atlantic, and maybe even the northeast, as we kind of are in that warm air sector across the regions here. So this is basically starting here for the pretty much for the 17th, driving its way all the way through the 18th. It does look like across the region. So this is currently what we are seeing in regard to the GFS model. So let's take a look here at the European model, and let's see what we can compare and contrast about these two models. Alright, guys, so now we're taking a look here at the European model in regard to things. So like I said, you really can't trust one model individually, is the reason we are taking a look at both of these models. So you will actually notice there is a lot of support between these two models, between what your GFS had to say as well as this model. So we actually start off here with all that snow we were expecting across the upper Midwest. This will impact, like I said, the 10th into the 11th, driving its way down into maybe even bits of the Ohio Valley. Now this model in particular shows maybe a little bit less snowfall across the mid-Atlantic. It still shows it happening across the regions here. There is still some similarities between the same thing here. Basically that area of low pressure developing across the southeast with all that moisture across the mid-Atlantic. So that is going to be a likely scenario. Now, like I said, this model also does agree the fact of that same system with maybe some snow and ice occurring here further down the line. So like I said, there is still some support between these two models. So overall confidence is actually a little bit more higher. However, potential impact actually looks a little bit lower compared to what these latest model outputs look like compared to what we did see yesterday. So let's go ahead and move on to the snowfall accumulation for this upcoming system, and let's see how much we can expect across the north. Okay, so in regard to snowfall accumulation, honestly, we actually are expecting a decent amount out of the system, because like I said, we are expecting some pretty consistent and heavy snowfall to occur. Now, across these kind of dark blue shade areas here, we are seeing the most. This is kind of where we are expecting maybe 3 to 5 with locally higher amounts being possible. Kind of these, almost, kind of these pink shaded colors, we actually are expecting probably over a half a foot of snow, being 6+ inches across the region, 1 and 3 across the light blue, as well as maybe a trace to an inch across the gray shaded area. So guys, stay tuned, because we're going to get ready to take a look here at this cool down that's expected to impact a lot of the country. Alright, guys, so now we're taking a look here at the National Weather Service forecast in regard to your expected wind gusts. We actually are expecting some pretty windy conditions to occur across the central and northern plains here. We're actually talking, kind of this red shade area here. We're actually kind of expecting maybe 40+ mile per hour wind gusts. It's a little bit more higher now once you kind of reach this yellow gold shade area, maybe even up to 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So we are expecting some pretty windy conditions to occur. Now, across kind of this purple shade area, we actually are kind of expecting maybe up to 30 mile per hour wind gusts. Anything lower than that, it really is not significant. Alright, guys, so now we're moving here back to the models in regard to things. We're taking a look here back at the GFS model in regard to your temperatures. Now, like I was saying, we are expecting a few waves of cooldowns to occur. So the first one will kind of impact the region here, really kind of starting on here across the north, but really driving down those temperatures. We're talking here in the negatives, basically here for the 11th, as we are going to get this first system to drive down a lot of cold air down into the United States. Really starting to see this cold front taking off across the southeast here. So this first one will impact the region here. Now, like I was saying, with that upcoming system that we might see down the line, this actually might cause another significant cool down much more further south according to your models here. You can really start to see that really sharp gradiated cold front here. I mean, literally less than a few hundred miles here. We're seeing the temperatures from the 60s down to the freezing point. So there is a pretty strong cold front here, and we are expecting a few significant cooldowns with, honestly, we could see some negative temperatures across the north yet again. But honestly, this is not really any new news to them because they've been dealing with a lot of cold temperatures across the north. But it's just another wave we are expecting of freezing temperatures. Alright guys, so now we're taking a look here at the max expected temperatures here for today. It's going to be a quite warm day yet again across with the south. I mean, take a look at this. We're seeing temperatures here, even through the mid-Atlantic. We're talking 50s and 60s across the regions here. The west actually does currently have an excessive heat advisory. We'll get into that here in a second. We're actually seeing the possibility of maybe the temperatures kind of getting near the 90s in some of these areas here. So we are expecting some pretty warm conditions to occur. We'll get to that when we take a look at the hazard. So overall today, it is pretty warm. We do have our freezing point just kind of across bits of Midwest, the upper portion into the northern plains. So overall, quite warm, a little bit more warmer than normal across the areas here. Now tonight it's not going to be as cold, but we are still expecting some freezing temperatures across bits of the northeast and through bits of the Tennessee, Ohio Valley, and into bits of the central plains here. But like I said, it's really not expected to be as cold as it has been, except for the north. We actually are expecting maybe some negative temperatures across bits of the northwestern side of Minnesota. But other than that, guys, we are expecting well above freezing temperatures across the southeast. More freezing towards the central portions as well as the Ohio Valley and northeast. But, across the mid-Atlantic here locally, it's really not supposed to break that freezing point. Maybe some areas across those upper elevations here, the Appalachians, might get freezing, but, for the most part, it's actually a little bit more warmer tonight. Alright guys, so now we're moving on here to the National Weather Service hazard for the last segment for today's video. We're taking a look here at the current active warnings, watches, and advisories that we do have out from your National Weather Service. There's really not much going on at the moment. We do have some winter weather advisories, kind of for this purple shade areas here across the upper Midwest, also across the plains here. We actually are seeing the possibility of some impacts of winter weather to occur. Now we do have some high wind watches in effect across bits of the southern portion here of Montana. You can't even see them, but it's across the top portion. We'll go ahead and scroll up a little bit. Right here, these are high wind warnings that are in effect. We actually are expecting some gusty winds to occur. Some really high winds are expected to occur there. Now, we do have an excessive heat advisory across the regions here, across the southern portion here of California. Like I said, like I was saying, we are expecting the temperatures maybe to get up in the 90s. This is going to be quite warm across these areas here. But like I said, guys, across a lot of the country, it is relatively clear for the most part. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you are new to the channel, it'll be greatly appreciated. But guys, I will see you all later on today because we will be doing a live stream at around 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, so don't miss out on that. Make sure you turn post notifications on. But guys, like I said, that's going to wrap it up for today's video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.